Thank you for watching this brief presentation on program review at CSULB. My name is Lauren Johnson, and I'm the coordinator for program review and assessment on campus. I hope this tutorial is helpful in giving you an overview of the process. Please feel free to reach out directly to me for questions or to meet in person or virtually with your department or unit as you continue to plan for your review. So what is periodic program review? WASC, our university accrediting body, defines program review as a systematic process of examining the capacity, processes, and outcomes of a degree program or department, and also could be an academic support unit, in order to judge its quality and effectiveness and to support improvement. The program review process is geared towards enhancing student success and requires programs on campus to reflect on the past while planning for the future. It is a neutral fact-finding and evaluative process that is collegial and conducted by faculty peers. While assessment of learning at the program level are an important part of the program review, they should not be confused with the more encompassing process of program review, which also includes such areas as a program's mission, its alignment with the state of California's workforce needs, changes to curricula, the role of faculty and priorities of hiring, facilities, technology needs, and so on. All programs on campus, academic and academic support, must be reviewed periodically. It is a requirement for WSCUC accreditation, or what we call WASC, Senior Colleges and University Commission, the national accrediting body of our university. It is also required by the Chancellor's Office for all CSUs. CSULB's unique program review policies were approved by the Academic Senate in 2005. Our assessment policy on campus was created in 1998. These are not the best reasons, however, to engage in program review. The best reason is that periodic program review is about self-reflection and improvement. The program review process allows for many meaningful conversations to happen among program and college leaders, faculty and staff peers, and campus partners, as well as academic affairs. Here's a graphic that illustrates the multifaceted dialogue that occurs during program review. I'll speak about the various types of program reviews in a moment, but note that for a typical review, there is both an external as well as an internal review team, which was represented in this graphic by UPRC and PARC. In fact, to be considered effective, periodic program review should occur on a regular schedule and include an external component from objective experts in the field, as well as an internal peer component, which is our Program Assessment Review Council, or PARC. You can see that the program or department is at the center of this dialogue. It's helpful to think about who the stakeholders are in your department or unit as you prepare for program review. For each program that goes through this process, the people involved are more than the faculty who teach. The process should involve input from staff, lecturers, students, both undergraduate and graduate, and so on. When you create your schedule for external reviewers, it's helpful to keep this in mind. Let's look at a quick macro view of the program cycle, and then we'll take a deeper dive into each of the areas. Departments receive a one-year notice to write their self-studies. At CSULB, the general schedule for program review is 7 years for traditional programs, but I'll talk more about that in a moment. Following submission of the self-study, external reviewers are invited to come to campus for 1 to 2 days of meetings. Arranging reviewers and scheduling this visit can take some time, so I'll talk about strategies for that in just a moment. Following the external reviewers visit, a report is generated by the site visitors with specific observations and recommendations for the program. The UPRC, the University Program Review Committee, generates a separate report which synthesizes the external visitors report with the program self-studies. These recommendations from the UPRC form the basis of the Memoranda of Understanding, or MOU, between the program and academic affairs. There are two types of reviews that come through PARC, a traditional review and an expedited review. Both participate in the PARC process of program review. A traditional review is one that takes place for all academic and academic support programs that are not accredited. The cycle for traditional reviews is usually 7 years, and each program is required to write a self-study at the outset of this cycle. Part of the review process for traditional reviews is a site visit by external reviewers, which may involve the participation of PARC members in their capacity on the UPRC subcommittee. An expedited review occurs if a program receives accreditation from a larger national governing body. Because of the strict requirements that must be met by their accrediting body, these programs may apply for an expedited report, which means they are allowed to use the same self-study they wrote for the accrediting body. Since accredited programs go under review according to their accreditation cycle, PARC abides by that, and that's typically anywhere between a 7 and 10-year cycle. Expedited reviews also include an external site visit by reviewers, but that's arranged by the accrediting body, and PARC or UPRC members do not attend that site visit. Okay, let's take a deeper dive into areas of the review process. The process begins with a program writing a self-study, a self-reflective report that provides data from institutional research and analytics. The template for the self-study is either a PARC standardized template for traditional reviews or written according to the requirements of the accrediting body for expedited reviews. However, whether the self-study is on the PARC template or otherwise, PARC requires that specific data is included in the report. This will include data from IRNA, including department full-time equivalent students, majors headcount, first-time freshmen, transfer and graduate student graduation rates, undergraduate degrees awarded, average time to degree, faculty headcount, and so on. For external reviews, I'm going to talk about the standard way that external reviewers work on campus, but please understand that sometimes smaller programs only need one reviewer and a shorter visit. Both traditional and expedited reviews use external reviewers, but they work differently. While expedited reviews are assigned external reviewers from their accrediting body, programs that undergo traditional review are assigned external reviewers by the Vice Provost's office. The two reviewers invited by the Vice Provost's office include one from a CSU and another from a doctoral degree granting institution. How were these reviewers selected? Following submission of their self-study, departments provide a list of potential reviewers to the coordinator for program review and assessment. This list is discussed with the Vice Provost, who makes the final determination on which reviewers to invite to campus. Let's talk a little bit more about that process. The process of securing 2 external reviewers for a traditional review can take anywhere from 1 to 6 months. It involves a lot of back and forth before it can be finalized. What is most important from the point of view of academic affairs is that departments submit lists of potential reviewers as soon as possible. The list should include at least 2 reviewers from a CSU, but not from CSULB, and 2 from doctoral granting institutions outside of the CSU. It is best if these candidates have administrative experience, for example, serving as a chair or a program head. Their specialties should align with the programs they're reviewing as much as possible and with the specific fields being reviewed. The external reviewers visit campus for approximately 2 days and then send in a review with specific recommendations. UPRC members may attend some of the meetings if schedules permit, so they can gain greater context of any issues raised. For both expedited and traditional reviews, the UPRC team is responsible for writing the final PARC report, a report which synthesizes information from the external review, the program self-study, and other materials provided during the review. A draft of the report is sent to the department for comments and so that the department can correct any factual errors. The report is updated accordingly and approved by the Park Council. The recommendations in the report lead to a Memoranda of Understanding, or MOU, agreed upon by the Vice Provost of Academic Affairs, the College Dean, and the Department Chair or Program Director. The MOU specifies the goals to be reached and the actions to be taken by all parties over the years until the next program review. For fall 2020 and spring 2021, all external visits were being conducted virtually. Beginning fall 2021, programs can select whether they wish to have their review in person or virtual. If an in-person review is being arranged, we have specific hosting requirements that include departments paying for lunch and incidentals, while Academic Affairs pays for hotel and transportation costs, as well as an honorarium of $900, which of course is also provided for virtual visits. I would be happy to answer any additional questions you may have to help prepare for in-person visits and hosting. Please just reach out directly to me. Whether virtual or in-person, departments need to provide a schedule of the external review visit about 3 weeks prior to the visit. The schedule should include entrance and exit interviews with the Vice Provost and Dean, as well as meetings with the Chair or Director. There are examples of schedules available to you to look over on the Program Assessment and Review Council webpage. Your schedule should be sent directly to the Coordinator of Program Review and Assessment prior to the review, as well as to Michelle Ramirez, Assistant to the Vice Provost. Please keep in mind that my position, the Coordinator of Program Review and Assessment, is the liaison with external reviewers. So please use me as a liaison in all communications with the external reviewers, including the sharing of review schedules. Finally, this is a list of resources that you can find on the Program Assessment and Review Council website. You'll see that the self-study template will be there, as well as examples of self-studies, guidelines for accredited programs, and sample schedules. There is also a Park checklist for accredited programs, which assists Park reviewers in locating pertinent information in accreditation documents. In other words, it lists which page specific information is located on for our Park members, and it's very important to have that on hand when we receive your self-study. For 2021-22, we're using a self-study template for degree granting programs, which is streamlined from past templates and also has programs to reflect on and submit data related to equity in retention and graduation rates. For help with acquiring this data, programs can reach out directly to me as the liaison with institutional research and analytics, and I'll be happy to assist in gathering that information. Okay, I hope this tutorial has been helpful. Please take some time to look through the documents on the Program Assessment and Review Council website, and then contact me with any questions or to schedule a follow-up meeting with your department.